In a bid to speed up the mission to housing for all by 2022, the government in March this year broad-based its interest subvention scheme on home loans to include people earning up to 18 lakh rupees per annum. Now, this was meant to give a boost to the crawling sales in India's housing market and speed up government's push to meet the housing for all objective. So far, the NDA's 3-year report card shows that the government has managed to sanction about 18 lakh units, which is about 9.5% of the target of 2 crore houses under PMAY or Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. In an interview to CNBC TV 18, Union Minister for Housing said he's willing to look at all options, including increasing the subsidy for mid-income home loans, provided there's demand for him. Listen in.
The Honorable Prime Minister on 31st December, in the backdrop of the demonetization, has announced a massive interest subvention. For poor people, 6.5%. For middle class, 3% and 4%. That means if the interest rate is somewhere 9.5 to 10%, if you reduce 6.5, it will be only 3.5. And then if you reduce 4 or 3, for the middle class and upper middle class, it will be somewhere around 5.5 and 6.5%. So it will become affordable because the EMI amount will come down considerably. The target of housing for all, or 1.75 or 1.8 million and all, is a big number, I do admit. But let me make you to understand that this is not the program of government alone. Central government, state governments have their own schemes, state housing boards are there, then the private sector also is entering in a big way. And we have also now allowed private people on their own, individuals. Individuals, they can apply if they have land, and if they can get a certificate from the collector, they can straight away apply to the bank. Bank will sanction them loan, and I will give them the subsidy. So that's where it's going to pick up in the coming days.
Today on Urban Reality, we take stock of the progress of credit-linked subsidy schemes and ask 3 key questions. The number 1 question: how well is interest subsidy on home loans under PMAY really working? Is there enough awareness, and are there enough takers for it? That's a big question. Second question: with the government bringing in credit-linked subsidy schemes, CLSS, as we are going to call it throughout the show, for the mid-income group, with the provision of 1,000 crore rupees set aside for it, has the demand for mid-income housing surged with this subvention, or at least started improving? That's an important question to ask. And our final question: should the government extend this subvention scheme beyond 1 year and also enlarge the sums allotted to it? Joining me on the debate today, Ravikant Miditi, CMD Hutco. Also joining me for a developer perspective, Boman, Irani, CMD Rustomjee Group, and Navin, Raheja, CMD Raheja Developers. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to come to you, sir, first, Mr. Ravikant, because 70% of your loan book is towards social housing. Tell me, do you consider the amount sanctioned under CLSS as a successful number?
The credit-linked subsidy scheme of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, which is giving a 2.3 lakh subsidy upfront to the home seekers, has been successfully implemented, and so far 17.73 lakh houses have been accepted the central assistance, and with an amount of 27,879 crore, with a total investment of 93,473 crore.
Mr. Ravikant, the figures I have is that about 600 crore rupees in subsidy has been disbursed under various schemes in the last 2 years, and there have been 36,000 beneficiaries under the PMAY for CLSS, both in EWS and LIG. And for middle income group right now, there's been no disbursement.
All these things will take some time, and a lot of publicity has been given through electronic media and print media. We have conducted various workshops, written letter to all the collectors and ULBs and the bank CMDs. So there is enough homework and effort has been made, and which is yielding the desired results now. You don't worry about the initial figures and all that. You see that as of now, the growth that had taken place and all that, 27,879 crore with a total investment of 93,473 crore is very, very important to say that this scheme is taking off very, very carefully. To add to that, Pradhan Mantri ji on 31st December 2016 has brought two components of MIZ1 and MIZ2, extending this facility up to 12 lakh and 18 lakh. All these schemes, all these announcements are yielding the desired results. And if you see the HUDCO contribution as a CNA and also as PLI, we are extending the housing finance from 31% to 40% now because of the demand that has arisen.
Boman, the number itself, which has been sanctioned so far under PMAY, 17.5 lakh units, there should be more number of people coming forward to avail the credit-linked subsidy scheme. So is it a lack of awareness which is the issue, or the availability of affordable housing which is the issue?
Manisha, very clearly there is no awareness amongst the people. It is us as developers who are continually bringing to the attention of people who are already, queuing up with us to purchase a home about the CLSS as well as, PMAY and the kind of advantages thereof. So the advantages are real. Once we explain to the consumer the benefit of it, and I'm talking of, obviously this doesn't work in Mumbai at all, but outside of Mumbai in the MMR region, this is definitely, worth exploring, because you get a 2.35, 2.36 lakh NPV as, a subsidy. Now, look at it this way, that if the consumer already knew about it, they'd be queuing up to our doorstep. It is us who have to go out there and continuously educate the customer. So a repeat or a customer who's already come to us can be educated about this and can be brought into the fold of this scheme. But I believe the government needs to do a lot more with, a vision like 2022 Homes for All, where we are talking of about 4 crore homes being, delivered, 6 crore homes being delivered. We need to kind of really go out there and educate the entire base. A very important thing is the MIG consumer is a lot better aware, or is faster to be, faster understanding, has a faster understanding of the scheme rather than the EWS and LIG customer. And like, the schemes only allow for 12 lakh rupees as the maximum loan. We need to up this loan in the cities because there's a very big buyer base out here. And also, I think the period of this entire scheme being 1 year is a little short, Manisha.
Are you saying that 12 lakhs is simply not enough? The larger question here is that you see housing finance companies reporting numbers, Boman, of 17 to 18% growth. In fact, affordable housing companies, finance companies, if you see their asset under management, has doubled in financial year 17. Yet, if you look at how the developers themselves, their numbers of sales are not looking that robust. So what is it? Is the 12 lakh numbers very low for the kind of stock which is unsold in the market?
Yes, Manisha, if you look at the cities, finding a home in 30 lakh rupees or 15 lakh rupees or whatever is just not happening. So the minimum price of a home in Mumbai would be anywhere between 65 lakhs and then going further up. While you can avail of this scheme for your first home, if you're an MIG customer and you're making between 12 and 18 lakh rupees a year, it might turn out to be just about, a 2 or 3% advantage. Vis-a-vis if you were buying a home in about 30 lakh rupees, where your advantage would turn out to be between 8 and 12%. So yes, the number needs to be pushed up. Also, if you need to make this scheme extremely successful, the government needs to put a little more advertising or a little more media spend on it.
Mr. Raheja, you've got assets under management for housing finance companies growing 17 to 18%, but your markets, unfortunately, are not growing as robustly. So tell me what's really going on.
See, the main problem is, here in NCR particularly, the customers' confidence is not actually, getting better. And the demand is on the affordable side, but the supply is not there on that side.
All right. Mr. Ravikant, I'm going to come back to you. So you've got a bird's eye view on the entire housing finance market. Are we saying that there is just lack of supply of affordable housing? Is that the reason why the numbers which I've got from Housing Ministry look so small as of now?
That may be one vertical which Mr. Raheja is speaking, that is called Affordable Housing in Partnership, that has to come in association with state governments. There are many states which are very proactive in this regard, have come out with innovative housing schemes, especially with reference to the south states I'm speaking, and sought more assistance under this central subsidy scheme, in addition to their own policies and programs and budget allocations to promote the housing. It is true that this affordable housing in partnership component, which was there earlier also, it carries 1.5 lakh subsidy.
Mr. Ravikant, do you have any ideas and thoughts on how do you revive the middle income market? Is it too early, or do you think after some time one will start getting many more applications for home loans up to 12 lakhs?
Middle income group is always having great demand for housing. They are the people, that segment and all that is always look for buying a house with their hard-earned money, and the announcement of Honorable Prime Minister covering this subsidy, central subsidy, which is available to them, 3%, 4% up to 18 lakh, is giving a great boost for housing. And many applications we have received, and the HUDCO has sanctioned so far around 5 crore in one financial year for this housing scheme under various components of this Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, and it is doing very well.
We're going to take a quick short break. When we come back, there's a bit of a dichotomy here. You have assets under management for affordable housing companies which have actually doubled from 2016 to 2017 financial year. But you also have a situation where developers are unable to sell a large stock of their housing units. So what is this dichotomy? We come back and examine that, and also find out whether the numbers or the money or fund just given for credit-linked subsidy scheme needs to be enlarged. Stay with us.